All right, pues salud. Cheers.
Salud, güey.
¿Qué onda, mi Cesar?
¿Cómo andamos, Omar?
Bien, aquí chingándole nomás.
Finally back at the studio.
3 weeks or so. We hope you guys didn't miss us too much. Sorry
some
for
of us,
leaving y'all.
some of my friends were like, "Yo, are you guys still doing the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro."
So,
They be keeping up, and I appreciate that from you guys.
yeah, hopefully you guys are still sticking around. We'll get you guys some good content this week. Double episode this week. No, a little bonus. We'll be starting off with this one. Bonus episode. We'll see which one I number it, but either 116 or 117. But we're going to be talking about La Selección de Mexico. We had their national team call-ups this week. Javier Aguirre's first call-up since coming back for his third tenure, along with Rafa Marquez, his first time as an assistant coach de La Selección. Yeah, we're going to go top to bottom. Keepers, defenders, mids, forwards. We'll talk about who's there, who isn't there, who should have been there, who doesn't need to be there. Y todo. And we'll give our predictions for what we think La Selección de Mexico will do with this squad versus New Zealand and against Canada.
Oh, let's go.
Slim pickings, los equipos, ¿no?
Sí.
No poder agarrar Brasil. Because I think everyone's on break right now, no?
Yeah, everybody's on break. It's an international break, pero European teams have that Nations League, and then South American teams, I don't know what
they're qualifiers. I think
they might have qualifiers.
So that's why they had to go seemingly APAC and
then North America.
When
do they play the U.S.? They play them pretty soon también.
In October.
In
Guadalajara. Va a estar bueno.
Va a estar buena la cosa. So it'll be a different convocatoria for that game.
Yeah, this seems like this convocatoria is just for those two.
For these two.
Hopefully we'll go over the names, but hopefully some of these names are there too if they can shine. Because we'll go over it. Let's start off just with the names. De ahí empezamos. Let's start off with some goalkeepers. First and foremost, a goalkeeper, the presumed starter, Luis Ángel Malagón de toda América.
Es todo.
Tenía que estar. No podía faltar. And the next, Tala Rangel.
De tus Chivas.
De mis Chivas, getting that opportunity. After what seemed like he kind of ruined it with versus Uruguay with Del Jimmy Lozano, where after they kind of didn't get any more minutes after a rough go. But Javier Aguirre is giving that confidence. And then third on the list of goalkeepers, Alex Padilla.
Alex Padilla
from Bilbao.
From Bilbao's first
Chivas
call-up.
fan.
Yeah,
Chivas fan.
He said it?
Well, there's pictures of him, the Morro, because he was born in Mexico, I think Chihuahua or something. And he's at his club team's got like Chivas jerseys, the old neon green ones with like the ones that were like weird directionals, the Omar Ariano ones back in the day. And his club team's got him, and he's like proudly wearing that shit.
Let's go.
You got to do it.
I seen that picture.
Yeah.
I mean, morrillos.
Las Chivas. Defenders. We got Julian Araujo del where's he at now? Bournemouth.
Yeah.
We got Alan Mozo. We got Israel Reyes from your America. Alan Mozo, first call-up in a while as well. A little bit of a surprise. Cesar Montes. Johan Vasquez. Victor Guzman, El Toro. We got El Stitch Angulo. We got Gallardo coming back after a little stint away now at Toluca. In the mid, we got Luis Romo. We got Fidel Ambriz, who a lot of people have been screaming for. He does have one friendly under his belt, that Bolivia game. That dumb match that they made everyone think
in Mazatlan, which was all random.
This one was in Chicago. Remember the one that they were like, bro, they're not gonna bring the first team squad. They faked the whole crowd out.
Soldier Field, it was like half empty.
Yeah. Eric Lira, who's been playing kind of center back hybrid, center mid role with Cruz Azul. Charlie Rodriguez from Cruz Azul. Luis Chavez from Russia somewhere. Sebastián Córdoba making his comeback con la selección. Orbelín Pineda. Diego Lainez coming back. Julián Quiñones. El Piojo Alvarado. Marcelo Flores. Chino Huerta. El Memote. Guillermo Martínez. Santi Jiménez and Henry Martin for the forwards. Not bad.
Not bad, yeah.
¿Qué piensas? Give me a letter grade. Let's start high level, just like antes de empezar el desmadre.
I was gonna give you a letter grade. So
what would you give this letter grade?
I'd give it like a C+. So a B.
No te gustó tanto.
And no, sí me gustó. I liked it mainly por los porteros. I'm a portero, so I always focus on that position. Y traer a Rangel, Tala Rangel, Padilla, youngsters, up and comers, is a really good sign. And then some of the other ones like Diego Lainez coming back, Chino Huerta, although he didn't do too well in Leagues Cup, but he's still young, coming in. So overall, I like it. And then some of the drawbacks are like the Stitch one or Charlie Rodriguez coming back and no hace nada. In my opinion, even Orbelín Pineda doesn't do much, hasn't done much, has only missed penalties. My recent memories of him. So that's why I give it kind of like a good grade, but not the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Orbelín penalty, technically why Mexico was eliminated, right? Yes. With that tie, if you would have scored it, they would have
against Venezuela.
They would have moved on. So C+, I give this a little bit better. I give it like a B-, maybe a B. Similar reasoning. I think it could have been stronger with some of the names that we're used to seeing that we don't want to see so much anymore. Like if we would have swapped out Charlie Rodriguez for like a Marcel Ruiz, if we would have swapped out Stitch Angulo for like Omar Campos, because he plays left back, right? If you would have switched him out for, I mean, no Chiquito Orozco's injured, but like somebody maybe a bit younger, maybe given more of the idea, like ya vimos lo que tenían que dar estos. Now let's maybe switch it up with something different. I think if you would have taken a little bit of that angle with some of those players, maybe Orbelín Pineda in there, I still think he can give something. Unfortunately, he only got to shoot one penalty. Y luego la falló. That was the tough thing, right? But like, I think if he would have taken that angle to be like, all right, like, ya diste lo que tenías que dar, let's give another youth player a chance, I think that would have been perfect. I do love these keepers. I think this should be the 3 keepers that are there for the future. Unfortunately, none of them are over 30, but also, fortunately, none of them are over 30, which is great. And we have one in Europe.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
And not at any team. It's at a really good formador de porteros in Spain. So
formador de porteros, and that gave him the opportunity to debut already. He already got 2 matches under his belt.
One against Barcelona, which he had a good performance.
Yeah, it seems like he may not see the light of day anymore. Now that the backup is back, he's second, and then Unai Simón should be coming back pretty soon, so maybe he'll even be in the crowd soon. But he got that experience, and now with the call-up with the selección, I'm pretty excited that Padilla might even get offers elsewhere for a first-team spot at, I don't know, mid-table team somewhere. That like you have the backing of having been developed by Bilbao, but also the money that comes from a Selección de Mexico player. Yeah. So I'm excited for the keepers. I'm liking the Santi Henry combo. Quiñones in there, throw him in there, something like that. I do like Córdoba back if we can get the best Córdoba possible.
Yeah,
we know that he comes in and out of games. I don't know, se pierde un rato. I think the defenders could have been a little bit stronger with Mozo there. We don't have the Artiagas, so we might default back to like a Gallardo starting.
Which Gallardo has been doing well. He's been performing well, but again,
he's never not done well. He's always been okay to very good.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people just kind of hate it, but he'll do the job.
Yeah, against Monterrey over the weekend, he scored a banger of a goal, and then he almost had a second, and that was called offsides. So, yeah, like you said, he's a Liga MX staple, pero I think we just want more out of our left backs. We thought we had it with Arteaga until he came back to Monterrey, and now we're looking okay.
And he still scored the only goal for them for Copa America.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But, yeah, exactly that. Maybe a little bit more out of some of the pieces would have been nice. I saw on Fútbol Picante, like Álvaro Morales was making fun of this lineup, like, este güey está muerto, este güey no hace nada, Orbelín Pineda ni sé qué hace. Like, he was tearing them up, but
Alan Mozo was surprising for me, not to hate on like a Chivas player, But watching him over the weekend, yeah, Chivas had an amazing performance against Juarez. But he's well at attacking, but defending he lacks a lot.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of the right backs, right? Araujo, now at Bournemouth, we're starting to see him a bit more. But like sometimes, again, lacking defending.
Yeah.
Does well going forward. Same thing with Sanchez from Cruz Azul. Jorge Sanchez, again, he did well attacking, but defending, it doesn't seem like we have that, like a player or right back who's balanced.
Yep.
And I think with Mosso, it's more apparent, in my opinion.
Yeah, even me, I've made of it a joke here that Alan Mosso is one of the most unorthodox players that there is in Liga MX. For him to get the call up, I think is more out of just the hustle that he has. I would have called up somebody else, even though he's a Chiva, but it is what it is. So I do give it a B-. I am really excited about some shiny new spots, and for the return of certain players. I think it could have been beefed up a lot more to have gotten that B+ to A rating. I don't think Mexico has the quality, honestly, to be an A+ rating right now. Yeah. But it is what you can do. So let's go over a couple of the names that just aren't there. No Antuna, no Edson, no Huescas, no Chucky, who's in a good moment, no Guardado, who there were rumors that him and HH is not there, that they would maybe make an appearance because Javier Aguirre say he doesn't care about age. If you're 19 or 39, he said, el que esté en mejor momento los va a llevar.
No Ochoa, if we really talk about age.
No Portales, that defender from Dundee. No Raul Jimenez.
No Raul Jimenez, yeah, which is wild. I mean, not wild. Holy shit.
I mean, you would maybe have thought that.
I would have taken.
By him saying that he was going to bring old heads back, I would have thought, like, okay, bye Memote, bring back.
Exactly. I would have thought I'd prefer Raul Jimenez over Memote right now. Just because Raul Jimenez gives you that like experience of playing against really tough defenders in the Premier League that Memote just hasn't had, plain and simple. And his movement, we've seen it recently with Fulham, has been really good. So can he do something similar at the Selección where maybe play with two strikers and he's providing the movement and then Santi's there to push it in, or Quiñones is there to push it in? I
would love him off the bench.
I mean, have him off the bench.
So the rumor that we've been hearing is that Vasco might do what he does on Mallorca, what he's done at a lot of lower tiered team, lower in the table teams, which is a back line of 5, right? So if you have a Vasquez, a Cesar Montes, and a third like a Toro Guzman in this case, I think the day one starter would be Chiquete once he gets back. Is that 3 defenders basically, and then 2 high flyers, Araujo, Gallardo in this case, and that's not bad lineup for that back 5. Yeah. But then you have like your typical 3 of a Luis Chavez, Edson, and like an Orbelin that's probably or Luis Romo, something like that. No Chiquito.
Yeah, which is not surprising, but the moment he's had with America, how he's playing right now, America in general hasn't been playing great. Yeah. Pero parece perdido in that team.
And then just to finalize the lineup up top, having dos, because it's 5-3-2, right? So if you have 2 right next to each other, he might go 2 heavy strikers, 2 heavy forwards, like a Santi and Henry at the same time, which I think would benefit if we had Raul Jimenez. He can come on as a sub the last 20 and the last 25 for Henry, and then provide a little bit of a change of pace with Santi.
Honestly, Raul Jimenez would be better than Memote if he's doing that at 5-3-2.
Yeah, I mean, Memote did show that fool will hustle his ass off, right? We saw it, so maybe he'll surprise us, but
the hold-up play from Raul Jimenez before his injury was amazing, and if at Fulham he can get to that, anywhere near to that, I feel like him and Santi Jimenez would tear it up.
And who knows? This is the first call-up de Vasco, right? And the real match, even though it's a friendly, va a ser a muerte el partido versus the U.S., especially in Guadalajara, the first one in Mexico in who knows how long. And to do it at an alternate place than Ciudad de Mexico is to go to try to show face, to try to, in my opinion, that's what I think that they're doing, that they're trying to really tell the Mexican people in a different area, like, all right, we're not about the money in the U.S. dollar. We're going to come to your backyard bring the best that we have, and we're not going to lose against U.S. We cannot lose to them in our soil, which is something that hasn't happened in forever. All the matches versus the U.S. are in the U.S., and then they get smacked. How about reassert that dominance in Mexico, in this time in El Acron? And I think for that one, maybe he'll bring Raul Jimenez, in all honesty, if Memote doesn't show out here. I think he'll be like, all right, el de mi confianza is Raul Jimenez. I've seen that fool in Europe.
Vámonos.
Bye, Memote.
Yeah. I want to point out Cesar Montes as well, just because he's in Almería still, second division, y dejó de jugar en Almería.
Yeah,
he's been benched. So I want to see what he's going to look like. I know in La Selección Mexicana he does really well, but it's still not having that competition de jugar juegos oficiales might affect him, right? So now he's moved on. Rumor is that he's going to Russia.
So I did see that.
We'll see if he can pick it back up and be ready for that U.S. game.
Like CSKA Moscú, no?
Yeah.
Like a good squad, no?
Lokomotiv, uno de esos güeyes.
Uno de esos.
Sí.
Ese o el otro. He's going to play against Luis Chavez, all right?
Yeah, he is.
The rumor before that was that America was trying to lock him down, because America's in a tough moment right now. They need extra bodies, especially at center back.
We need a left winger. We need an attack.
They need center backs too, right? They're playing Araujo right now. And
that was garbage. I don't know why.
He was at the last World Cup. Why? But yeah, a whole bunch of things to kind of call out, many things here. Cesar Montes, what kind of a rhythm are you going to come? But in all honesty, if I'm Vasco, you need to get rhythm.
Yeah.
Right? He's a player that you need. So, yeah, maybe put him in every minute because they're friendlies and because he's not getting any minutes at his club.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes for him in Europe. But no Edson because of kind of getting back from an injury.
Into it, yeah.
Barely starting to get starting spot back, which I respect some of those call-outs. The U.S. is doing some stuff like that too, where they're not calling certain players because you know what? They're just getting started.
Who didn't they call the Juventus one?
They didn't call Weston McKennie.
And
then they didn't call I forgot who the other one was, the Yunus Musa or something, but like two players that are starting to break through. Yeah. They didn't have a great preseason or something. So he's like, all right, déjalos. No? Which is good. No Huescas because of injury.
Because of injury, yes.
No Antuna for some
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because apparently Vasco is starting to share some opinions about like not loving that these fools aren't going to Europe. And what more is there to show than this fool Antuna going from Chivas to Cruz Azul now to Tigres?
And
this fool's gonna be.
He got booed. Did you see when he got booed?
Coming into the game?
He went to Tigres and like, you know how La Afición is outside the installation.
Yeah.
The installations, and like he was walking into a door and he just got booed.
Dude, that's kind of rough.
That's hella rough.
I mean, that's the demand of you, man. You're coming there getting hella dollars a year. Mm-hmm. The aficion's like, no, bro, you better start winning games.
Yeah.
But he's going to be fighting for every minute against the Marcelo Flores against the Ociel Herrera, who's doing really well. Like, I just don't see where they're fitting these players.
Yeah, me neither. I'd rather just keep those players, Ociel Herrera and
give him every minute.
Marcelo Ruiz was rumored to go back to Europe. Marcelo Flores was rumored to go back to Europe as well. So maybe there's some interest there, and se están preparando.
I think, they declined the offer, and the window's closed, I think.
Yeah, but, I mean, winter.
Next winter. Es lo que dicen cada año, güey. No mames.
Sí, hay que seguir.
Yeah, HH came out with some choice words, something along the lines of, like, I don't understand why they're basically blacklisting us that are in MLS. He even had some choice words saying that MLS is proven to be at the same level or better than Liga MX, and that they should be taken into account for call-ups again.
Yeah, I mean, he has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, he is balling out, bro. When he's come here against the Quakes,
you can tell he has class.
He gives me like Cuauhtemoc vibes.
Yeah.
Where you're obviously not as bad because Cuauhtemoc was like hella hunched over and shit at like 38. But he was balling. He was cooking. Yeah. But this dude's going like at a jogger's pace. HH. But bro, quítale el balón, hombre. It's hard. It's hard as hell. So the quality is still there. But Cesar, give me a name that's missing on this list. Who would you like to see?
I mean, Chucky, we haven't talked about him, but he's had a great start of the season with PSV that I'm surprised he's not in this call-up, right? Because if he's getting anywhere near back to his potential or to his standard, then he should be in this call-up.
Yeah. Rumor has it that he will, since Jimmy was there, right, that they had some form of a discussion that ended up just saying, like, all right, well, you're not even going to come as a backup anymore. I don't know if maybe he had a frustration he said that, but it seemed like he was just not in the plans anymore, as well as Henry and Ochoa at that point. But now, even with Vasco there not getting called up, who knows if maybe it's like a bit of a repercussion from taking the dollars at MLS versus staying in Europe, dog. You're 29 years old.
Yeah, he's still really young. But another one I'd put in Ociel Herrera in there too. Because he was in the prospect of coming up. He was part of the squad that played Bolivia. He's part of the squad that was played against Ghana and San Diego. So he should have came into this squad as well. If we're really trying to turn the page and bring in new younger faces, he should have been here as well.
Yeah, I would have loved like a shock young player. Like I understand Fidel Ambris is there, but we've been screaming for that dude for a long time. He's even not, in my opinion, at his best moment. Leon is doing terribly right now, but like for the longest time, he's been Leon's captain. Fucking 21, 22 years old. Yeah. Imagine that. Comes from the family line, right? His dad's an amazing baller for La Selección de Mexico, but. Like we've been asking for him for like forever. He should be there, so now he is there. But I would have loved another shock factor, like a freaking Mora, el morro de Tijuana, the 15-year-old. Yeah. Bring him in, dude. I mean, these you see all these European squads that just bring in the Warner kid, right? Vámonos, cabrón.
Macizarte. I know La Hormiga is just starting to pick it up.
La Hormiga was my other one.
Like, imagine if they were brought him. I just seen him against Juarez. That fool's big.
He's big, and he's the fastest player on the field. There's rumors that he's faster than Kate Cowell, than like everybody. And that dude is big, physical, and he's got the nose for goal. He's got 3 goals on the season already. Top goal scorer for Chivas. But like one of those shock ones, Hormiga, or Mora from Tijuana, or like. I don't know, that dude Edson Ayon from León. I mean, like, I would have loved a little bit more like somebody else. They're friendly, dog. They're moleros.
Yeah, especially against New Zealand. Like, con todo respeto, but, you know, they're not the toughest of opponents. Bring in one of the young kids, like we mentioned.
Who's your number one you would have taken out? ¿Quién sobra?
¿Quién sobra? Let's see. I think Eric Lira is, like, my biggest one that, like, ¿a qué lo traes? ¿A qué chingados me lo traes?
Eric Lira's been balling out, though.
He's been balling. They just beat my America. I get it. Pero el güey, ¿cuándo lo vas a mirar en Europa? No. Tráeme a...
There were rumors of him to La Fiore, right? Like at the beginning of the season. That fool, I think he's still young enough that he might do it.
How old is he? A ver.
Like 25.
Or America center back.
No, hombre, los de la América ahorita ni me los traigas, cabrón.
Ramón Juárez.
No, hombre.
No manches.
For who?
For Eric Lira.
Eric Lira's a midfielder. I know he plays. He drops a little bit. But no manches, Ramón Juárez ni el coach lo quiere, güey. Nomás por puro.
Yeah, Ramón Juárez is goated. I don't know why he doesn't play.
I mean, with America, there's a reason, and that's why El Vasco is not going to call him either. Okay. Yeah, definitely. He needs to take the next step up in quality. He's getting a lot of chances, right? So it's like Lara back in the day, right?
Who's your left back? Chivas left back. I actually like him as well.
The left back is Jesus Castillo, ex Pachuca.
Okay.
Jose Castillo, I believe. Yeah, he's a baller. He's not like Nato left back. He's more of a center back, but he's one of these new generation of big center backs that could play out wide. He's solid.
Yeah.
Very defensive minded. More than attack. He doesn't attack too much. But, I mean, también denle la oportunidad. Mateo Chávez, ¿no? En su momento when he was balling.
Yeah, I guess.
But no, not solidified enough. But, para mí, el que sobra, it's got to be, I don't know, el Stitch, yo creo. I mean, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. El que sobra es Alan Mosso easy. Like I mean,
I didn't want to call him.
Like, bro,
yeah.
that fool's like he's like 25 and like ya sabemos, way. Like, I would like a bit of a breakdown from El Vasco on why bring him. Like, what is it? Esos centros buenos que manda, does that really cover the cost of like how torpe he is at times, how defensively poor he is, and then sometimes he just gives up a free yellow card doing some dumbass shit.
He's a meme.
He's a meme. He's a meme. Way that feels like a lucha libre dude out there. Like sometimes when in League's Cup they had like 2 penalty kick shootouts, right? And then that fool fucking he scores the penalty kick that's insignificant, and that fool gives a little celebration. And I'm
y fue como algo que hizo grandioso.
I know.
And it's like it's those things that you don't need those things, right?
Yeah,
I
love the
perjudican.
I love the villain vibe, but you got to be a baller. And like le salen algunas jugadas, especially lately. So kudos to him. He's been balling out. But like the men's is cringe, is what it is. But like against LA Galaxy, traía pique con Ricky Puig, and then voló una way. He had a shot, and Ricky Puig started making fun of him, and the fool's like, "No me importa que la volé."
It's like Chico Fresa que no le importa lo...
It gives like that fool's like a city boy
de
Mexico. But yeah, no, I would have loved, like I said, he's more right back, but I would have loved like an Omar Campos. I'm sure there's other Mexican players with higher roofs than him, higher potential roofs. But let's break it down to the keepers a little bit. Cesar, we said we got Malagon, we got Rangel, we got Padilla. Who do you think starts the first match?
Malagon starts 100%.
You don't think Padilla's coming in to fight it?
No.
With what's his name? With Javier Aguirre being the La Liga snub that he is, having such a career in La Liga.
No. I think Malagon starts, and he's going to be the starter looking to 2026. Unless there's an injury like what happened in Copa America, and I think Rangel will be the second for sure. He's had plenty of first division games, so he has more experience over Padilla. And I think Padilla, the 2 factors is, one, you want to lock him down to be Mexican, para que no se cambie to be Spaniard and maybe get called up, and then 2, kind of reward and let everybody else know that si estás en Europa y tienes unos cuantos juegos y haces bien, te vamos a llamar.
Especially keepers, because they don't go.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Especially because it's usually a height thing, or I don't know, a physicality thing. Because
it's just Mexico no es formador de porteros in general.
But también ves a los porteros that they have, and they're barely 6 foot, and some of them they're not prioritizing the physicality piece to it. They're prioritizing los reflejos under los 4 postes.
Por eso, that's what I'm saying.
Which I mean, but also if the size is just not there, sometimes it's difícil.
Pero Jonathan, ¿cómo se llama? Jonathan, what's his name?
¿Cuál?
El Spider. El de Monterrey.
The dude de Monterrey, Jonathan Orozco.
Yes, Jonathan Orozco podía salir con las manos. Jesús Corona podía salir a cortar un balón. Yeah. But they weren't the greatest, like Ochoa was under the 3 posts. Jonathan Orozco podía jugar con los pies.
But Ochoa has the height combined with that, right? Combined with whatever limited aspects to certain parts of his game, but then big parts of it being the reflejos, right?
Yeah, there just has to be a balance. And I feel like a lot of Mexican keepers nomás no pueden salir a cortarte un balón. Ochoa's never done it. Acuérdate a... El Conejo Pérez, again, short, y a veces no salía a cortar un balón.
But if you look at, like, historically, some of the keepers, recently, I guess, not historically, a couple of the keepers that have been to Europe that are Mexican that end up coming back, which are small name keepers. Riddle me this. But one of them is Gudiño,
yes,
the ex-Chivas. That motherfucker is like 6'4", right? And that dude is pretty strong. He's not twig skinny. He's está corpulento. There is no other keeper in Liga MX right now that's like similar body type to him, right? And then maybe le faltó más bajo los postes, in my opinion. The other one was Pablo Cisniega, who came to was from Real Sociedad, came to play at LAFC for a couple seasons. That motherfucker was like 6'4" también, like hella big, but twig skinny, right? But I think just a lot of these teams in Europe just aren't finding that minimum piece in the Mexico keepers, so they just don't come a looking for it, right? Alex Padilla is a very big dude, and también está corpulento, está macizo, right? And I think if Mexico were to produce more of those type of keepers with that base, and then you could build upon that with the European system, I think that would be the ability, the way that they can export more young keepers. But to your point, I think that's what Vasco is doing a good job in saying, like, yo, this fool is out there doing it. If you go out there to some random team in Europe and you get minutes, we're going to call you up too.
Yeah, I think Vasco's sending a very clear message, and it works. You kind of like killed two birds with one stone. Capping him or letting him show, hey, this is El Cad, we're going to take care of you here. And him wanting to come saying that he feels really Mexican as well. Has a tattoo of like the eagle and like has showing pictures.
Got the Edgar cut.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you're able to do that, show them what's up, and then also send them that message to the rest of Liga MX and goalkeepers in general. Hey, go out there to Europe, rompela, juega partidos, and then you'll get called up.
Yeah, and that's what we've been asking for all positions, right? But then he kind of flip-flops. Like there were a couple of players that are in Europe trying it out in lower divisions, like a Portales, and they don't get the love, exactly. Which would have been nice to have gotten, especially with the forever Liga MX people like a Charlie.
Yeah, Malagon is 5'11" on Google.
Okay. Remember when we were searching in Transfer Market, it said like 6 foot. Google said like 6'1". One other place said 180 centimeters, which is 6 foot.
Cabrones.
And I'm like, bro, y'all are just making shit up right now. All right. Let's bring it on home then. Oh, the last thing with the keeper, no Julio Gonzalez. Got every single minute at Copa America. Only got scored on once. But that's not good enough to get you in the top 3 to be called up by a new coach. That's interesting.
And it's just age. It's, again, what we just talked about. He's at Pumas. Nothing to his fault. Pumas hasn't been doing the greatest
it's like
either.
31, right? 33?
Yeah. And Tuca was saying, yo, like, Padilla is for 2030. Mm-hmm. Why aren't you bringing Julio Gonzalez? I'm like, okay, but you have Malagon. Malagon was supposed to be the starter at Copa America, period. So ahora, why bring in a 31, 32-year-old who's going to be 34 in 2 years or in a year, 2 years when the 2026 comes around? If you have these 2 young goalkeepers who can get that experience and who you can boost their morale and say, hey, cabrones, pónganse las pilas, ya están aquí 2 años y se vienen and you guys are the starters here.
For real. Like, I mean, some of these old head coaches, I mean, Tuca knows what he's doing, right? He's been in Liga MX for 2 decades, 3 decades almost. But like, we would just love for them to be a little bit more forward looking. Mm-hmm. Fucking, pa que tanto pinche ruco? Throw in a young kid in there as the backup to the backup to the backup. Ya que?
Exactly. But, he's 33 right now, Julio Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing. Yeah, to me, it also kind of raises a bit of a question about Jimmy. It's just like, Jimmy, ¿qué le viste? That, like, now Vasco's like, he's not even in my top 3, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Or it may be just that it's the New Zealand and it's Canada.
I can guarantee you he's not going to bring him to the U.S. roster. I hope not. I mean, I love this keeper.
Yeah, I love these 3, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Now he has Talavera as a keeper coach. You see that?
Oh shit, I did not.
Which I would like. I love that. Like
Talavera was, yeah.
That's there is the veteran keeper.
Yeah,
he's coaching them. That's the same as having him as your 3rd or 4th keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Es igual.
And it's they grew up watching Talavera. Yeah. Like, imagine getting coached by Talavera. Like,
literally, the second goalkeeper, Raul Rangel, his nickname is Tala. Yeah, because he looks like Talavera played like him growing up. It's crazy.
Jeez, bro.
It's crazy. All right, Cesar, speaking of the 2 moleros, let's get right into that. Give me your predictions for the matches. Let's start with New Zealand, Mexico versus New Zealand. What do you got?
I got a 2-0 win.
2-0.
Yeah, I got a win here because, one, New Zealand, it's a modest team, but I think Mexico is also gonna be struggling a bit, trying to get to know each other, the new system. But I think overall they should be able to put them away. Santi Jimenez, Henry Martin is there to get a 2-0 victory.
All right. A little bit different. I think that Mexico is going to have a field day. I don't think this necessarily means crazy things for the future, but I do think that in this match, the first match, a técnico nuevo nunca pierde. I think everyone will be very happy, very excited. I think they win 4-0. I think a couple people can get their goals, maybe a Santi brace or something, but I think they'll do well. Give me your prediction versus Canada.
I have a 1-1 tie against Canada. I think mainly because Jesse Marsh has been really working with this Canadian team, trying to find the young talent. And I bet you they're going to bring young, explosive, technical talent that can compete against a Mexico, who's, again, adapting to a new system, to Vasco, to Rafa Marquez, to most of these new players, some young. So for me, it's going to be a more even game, making it a 1-1 tie.
Nice. Good thoughts. In my opinion, I think Mexico will win that game too. I have a 1-0 win. I think Vasco Aguirre has a lot of experience that he can play against. Jesse Marsh usually plays with a back line of 5. So I think that can really help his first couple of games, make sure that he gets clean sheets or very minimal goals. And then I think Mexico can put one away. I don't think, like I mentioned, I don't think they're just going to be scoring in bunches, because that's just not what this generation that Mexico has. It's figuring out how to get one, sneak one by against tougher opponents. And I think this Canada team is that tougher opponent, but I think they can still get a 1-0 win. Pero va a estar bueno. And then after that, the real match versus the U.S. We'll see what kind of a roster comes out for that. But that's it.
Yeah, overall, I'm excited for these next 2 games to see all these new faces y pues que les vaya de lo mejor.
Y sí, que metan muchos goles y
Por favor.
get out all the old heads.
Por favor.
Bring in the new heads. Yeah, one thing to call it, there's only 2 players over 30. Gallardo at 30 and Henry Martin at 31. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
No older heads.
Yeah, and esta selección está base de Chivas, a lot of Chivas players.
Ah, huevo, como tiene que ser.
Ay.
That's when Mexico's at their best,
America got second.
No, pues, pero puro maleta. Ni van a jugar. All right, folks. So that's all we had for this recap episode. We hope that you guys liked it. We are back. Keep an eye out for our content. I got a couple lives going. They keep getting taken down by copyrights.
Dude, I keep getting the emails. I'm like,
but we're trying, folks. We're trying to get y'all some good content. So keep an eye out, because I'm going to keep cooking those. But yeah, hope you guys like that. Remember to subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform or on YouTube, wherever you're consuming us, because we'll have some more content. We'll get onto it. We'll have a goal-sided summer.
Yeah, and then we're also going to be having a few, we're going to try and put together Premier League mornings at Running Shop and Hops.
In Morgan Hill.
If you guys are interested, or in the South Bay. So jump in the Discord to get all these updates, and then, yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon.
And we'll talk soon. Peace.
Peace.